Afemo, you've been feeding people, thousands, you and your wife with the Hosea Feed the Hungry for years now. How do you keep a positive spirit? How do you keep, I guess, an uplifting spirit in the sense that the numbers have grown over the years, and now you're seeing more families who are coming to it? It's almost like chiseling, trying to break a big rock that keeps getting bigger. How do you not let that just take you down sometimes, or do it, or how, and how you come and how do you come out of it?
By reaching that one family then and seeing their lives change, seeing them coming from homelessness to having their own places, back to work, and being stabilized. That is what I realized. That's okay. This is what we're here to do. We may not do that for everybody, but if we can just save this family, that family, then that's what keeps us going. Because if we saw the big picture, we would be swallowed up in despair, basically. And then we constantly leave the country to go get our heads right by going to India, to South Africa, to Haiti, the Philippines, so we'll see what desperate poverty is, what true Brokeology really is. And then you come back and you check yourself and you realize, my God, what am I complaining about? I mean, it shuts your mouth because you've seen the belly of it. It's just the total ugliness, and it's like, this over here is a good side. No matter how bad they say that is, Stan, that ain't bad. And I think that's what keeps us balanced with the perspective. Had we not gone out, then we would have been just in this little thing thinking this is what it is. And it's not. We needed to do that. That's why every year we go to different places in the world to go minister and do things. Because we need that perspective. You stay in here too long, it warps your whole worldview about what's really going on out there. So that's how it helps me hold on. If it's just this one family, this one child got this one young girl said, thank you for the scholarship. Then I know it means something. If I didn't have that, I'd walk away tomorrow because it'd be too much.
Acting. Why do you still act? You've been acting a long time now. You know, like I say, we knew each other back before we had any gray hair. But obviously it's still doing something for your spirit and your soul. Why do you still act?
I was telling Jasmine, it was some therapy. It was keeping me from the psychiatric couch and psychotherapy, because these characters help me delve into the demons I struggle with the dark side of my life. Because I look at things and say, well, that's in me to do that. Now, why I don't do it is what I'm interested in. When I look at the spectrum from the total darkness to the total light, and I know all of that's in me, and these characters take me there without me having to really be that in life, and in a sense I'm healed of something. I'm freed up to realize, okay, it's okay to have this and still be sane enough to do this. See what I'm saying? I mean, they help me see my own insanity, but yet realize it's okay, because then you're sane enough to still do what you need to do in this life. That's the only way, and I think that's the excitement. That's why I want to go do something, because it's going to take me to those places in my regular life. The responsibility won't let me delve into that, because I have to be this and do this for everybody. But then this side, I get to, oh wow, the scary stuff too. These characters, some of the stuff is scary. Oh wow, you know. But it's okay, because you're giving it out. You're sharing the scariness. You're sharing the insanity. You're sharing the joy and all of that. And I think we all need to do that.
And this is your first time together on the stage.
This is our first time together.
You know, and but I guess I get a sense, though, even though it's your first time working together, it hasn't been difficult finding each other, you know, where you're coming from on the stage and meeting each other in terms of doing what needs to be done on the stage.
Because we've been through all the other stuff. We're both at a point in life where we know what's really important. Egos are checked. I mean, we've been through, so none of that stuff is baggage that gets in the way. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I like being with her.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think she's at a place now where she's searching for far more important things about what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, none of that. I need to be upstage. I need more lines. You know,
But
get this light right.
I need more lines.
I'm gonna give her some. I'm gonna write some of my stuff. As a matter of fact,
this is a big old chunk. Can we break it up? So I've watched Afemo over the years, and I know who he is. So I was very excited to come to rehearsal. I was waiting for him to say yes that whole year, you know, because I had my relationship with Atlanta being in and out, and then all the people that have worked with you and have told me about you, and I was very excited. And then this summer when I did I Dream, and you and your wife were being honored, and Lisa said to him in the aisle, I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, I do remember.
That's gonna be your wife. That's gonna be your wife. And Afemo was like,
Lisa watched it.
just nothing. And I was like, I don't think he likes me yet. You gotta work on him a little more. He still ain't said yes. That was the summer. Like, that gets to be your wife. It was hilarious. You should have seen your face. You were like, okay, whatever.
It was
in a
becoming.
minute. I told you I'd tell you in a minute.
I know.
Well, Jasmine, you've been spreading your wings, it seems to be, quite a bit. You're doing so much stuff now, or have been doing so much stuff, that you didn't have time to tweet me to tell me the stuff that you're doing. I have to, you know, watch TV or see this clip or something.
I didn't know that Georgia Lottery thing was going to be a big deal. You know, part of that was I was like, what do you mean they're commercials for it? Because I didn't know what it was, but anyway.
Well, tell people what it was first, because when they see this clip, it's like, what Georgia Lottery
Well,
thing?
Georgia Lottery did an American Idol of Georgia, and they have been doing that for months. And they had 4 categories of pop, R&B, hip-hop, rock, and country. And basically, you know, over the holidays, they said, can you do the opening number for our award show? I didn't know it was going to be televised. I didn't know there were, you know, these statewide competitors, and, you know, it was on the level. So after I called Kenny and said, can I do this, because it meant missing or hurt, that's all I was really thinking about, how am I going to do that in my other gig. So I did the opening number, but in doing that, you know, I got to see that great competition and the talent that they found, and it was actually very exciting, you know, to see that talent out of Georgia.
And what's this movie I saw a clip of you in?
That's really a cameo.
A cameo?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what movie is that?
It's called The Heart Specialist, and I got that the week I was in L.A. for Thanksgiving, and literally come in, do this scene, and, you know, it's like a romantic comedy.
Okay.
With Zoe Saldana and Wood Harris.
Right.
They're in it, but you know, they're me.
Both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like both of them.
One of the things that you said in one of our earlier interviews was that you hope to have more of a life than just a business by moving back here to Atlanta. Is that happening, or is it?
I have a much fuller life here.
Yeah.
LA is a very isolated place for me. I couldn't find my foot in there. But I never thought Los Angeles was home. It was always a place I worked. When we finished filming A Different World, I went back to New York. I feel like I grew up in New York, got that show, and then when we were on hiatus, I go back to New York. You know what I mean? And so when I got married and had the baby, I said, well, I guess I can't just be bouncing back and forth. I'm going to settle in L.A. But it was hard. I mean, other than my church, you know, Agape, I really never found a community unless I was on a set, you know, unless I was working. And here, I don't. I mean, I'm not just valued by that. I have my family here when I work and from the other productions I've done, but I also have more of a life outside of that. But then there are tricky things about it being here too.
Tricky?
It is very, I mean, I'm not used to the conservatism and the limited views and not being able to talk a certain way. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah. How's the
That's
dating
kinda
scene?
boring.
How's the dating scene going for you?
I don't care, man.
Well, I mean, I'm just
What
asking.
makes you think
I'm just
dating?
asking. I'm just asking what the people want to know. Or have you gotten back out and started
Back on
dating?
the market. No, I go out if the opportunity presents itself.
Okay. That's
I'm
all
not
right.
having
Wait,
to
we're not
work
asking you to
anything.
ask names or nothing
Yeah,
like that.
it's
We're just,
nothing like that.
you know, is it picking up and you
Well,
know.
you know, to be fair, there was a time when I was like, I don't think my spirit was even open.
Right.
And nobody was asking. But I think once I started healing and whatever, that's why I say I really don't know, because I didn't plan anything. This is like the first time in my life that I know that God is driving my life. I think I thought I was doing more, I had more to do with my life before. I really believed that. I thought I was getting things because I worked hard. But I've worked hard and not gotten things, so that theory doesn't work. And then I have gone into the complete unknown in coming back to Atlanta. I mean, really kind of uncharted territory. I mean, the fact that I grew up here was irrelevant. I left in '79. I was never an adult in Atlanta. I had gotten my driver's license and moved to New York, so I didn't know how to negotiate the city. And the city, which is great, is really much more fluid. You know, there's so many people from other places here now than, you know, in the '70s. You know, there are people that are from New York and Chicago or whatever, and they're bringing those energies into the city. You know, but there is still, you know, a divisiveness that I'm not used to. Having lived in New York and LA all this time, it's, you know, the issues that are issues to me, you know, like when I did Brownie Points, and I was like, what is that? I thought it was funny. I thought I was directing a comedy until we got into it, and I realized that the racial tension in the city and in our lives was still very viable, and not quite as funny as I thought, you know, which was fine. It just made it a lot more heavy, but I just haven't been living like that for 30 years. I haven't been living where gay is such a big issue. I cannot believe it. Even in dinner conversations, I'm like, this is boring. Y'all haven't accepted gay people? Are you kidding me? That's how I feel. Are you kidding me? And why is everybody in the closet, and who cares? And how much, y'all got how many more years here to be miserable? To be with a gender you don't even like? You know, that kind of blows me away. And so, but you know, I haven't been living here, and I've been living in, you know, a liberal arts environment where we are really judged based on other things. I mean, we're seriously judged. You know, it's just that isn't always the issue.
Right.
The black-white thing, the gay thing, you know, so part of me feels like I just, you know, I'm back in time, you know, and then politically, of course.
Right.
There are other issues I have here.
Afemo, I'm going to give you the last word on this.
Please make it positive, because that wasn't good when I just said. Can you bring in the sunlight?
Yes.
Okay.
Working, you've known Kenny Leon for just as long as you've known me, working with him for years as such. How important is it to have a director that you can just totally trust and not worry about where is he coming from, et cetera, because you know him? How important is that to to help you do what you have to do out there on that stage?
I think it's like a marriage in a way, because you have to trust that person with your secrets, your vulnerability, and the things that you expose in the process of revealing these characters. And you have to trust them with these things about yourself. And I think Kenny has built up such a reputation as a confidant, as a man who speaks his mind, who keeps it light even in the middle of some serious stuff. He knows how to make you laugh, but then he's always real about everything. And sometimes you don't get that in this business. People don't always tell you the truth of how things are. They may tell you what you want to hear, but he's never done that. He's always said, man, this is where it is. This stinks, this is rotten, this is whatever, boom, boom, boom. You need that. So you're never out there just illusions of grandeur or something, you know what I mean? You're where you need to be, and he's going to tell you that. And I think that's what's refreshing. You want somebody to be real with you, good, bad, or ugly. Tell me what it really is. And I think with Kenny Leon, you're going to get that. And then a man of color as well, in a town where, we still don't have our own in a lot of sense, even though we've been here this long. So to see him having his own and standing strong, as tough as it is to do what he's doing, that's why I made the choice not to do it, to go and just serve, which I guess I could have gone in this direction. So he has my full support, because I know how difficult it must be to still maintain and hold together a family, which is what True Colors is. You build a family. And then funding, you need sponsors, because we do the same thing with Feed the Hungry. We were talking about the other night with Air Tran. He said, we're going to go meet. I said, yeah, because we do the same thing with Coca-Cola, Walmart, all these folks. You develop your relationship so they can support you. Even in a town like this, even being out here was political in a sense. What Jasmine's talking about. There's a lot of politics in what we do. It's not just a simple thing. We get a theater and we do our shows. It's a lot more involved. And people always want to pull you in directions of this politics, this, and you just want to do your work. Man, I just want to be true to my art, my craft. Why are you trying to, even in serving poor people, people want you to play politics in that. I'm not on your side, I'm not on your side, I'm on the side of the poor, all right?
Yeah.
You have to tell people these things. And I know he must experience all of that too. So I feel a camaraderie, because we're both doing things it's the same thing, it's just serving people in a different way. So I feel a camaraderie with anybody who has a heart to serve and to do and give. And that's what he is. He's a minister, he's a servant, giving this craft, this art to people who they may not have access to this. Beyond the Alliance and all the places where, the traditional strongholds, which we all came out of, but only to have our own. That's what it's about. You know what it is in this town. Black paper must always be. We can't just depend on our other paper folk. We got to have our own. That's why this is something we all have to embrace. This is ours.
Well, it's been a pleasure for me to sit down with both of you to talk and feel that wisdom and energy, and it's been great. I appreciate it.
I understand, man. When y'all coming?